Rita Ijak is one of the United Nations pro bono consultants on human rights. Her field of expertise is minorities. She comes from the most numerous and highly disadvantaged of minority groups in Europe, the Roma.
I'm very proud of having a Romani origin, and it's one of the sad stories that my family doesn't speak Romani language anymore. And if you know a little bit about Roma communities, you might also know that there are different Roma groups, and some of them are actually born into communities where they just speak Roma language from birth. But some of us are born into integrated communities where there is not anymore a strong language use.
Half of humankind's 6,000 languages are spoken by less than 10,000 people and look set to disappear by the end of the century due to historical colonization and now globalization and assimilation into the majority.
Of course, the minimum is that there should be no interference to languages, so anybody should, in private and public, use their language free without any discrimination. This is a kind of freedom that should be given to linguistic groups. But what is more important, that there are certain rights that need to be ensured. And in order to ensure these rights, you do need to invest some money.
In most cases, funding is spent on schools and teachers, the creation of dictionaries and grammar books, collections of poems, songs and folk stories.
There is also a fascinating story in Mexico where there were only two men close to their 80s who were the only two survivors of a language spoken called Ayapaculo, and these two men had a fight. They don't even remember why, and they refused to speak to each other. Now, these were the two only men who spoke this language. So there was a mobile company who actually helped building a school in the community and invited the two men to come and teach kids on this language in the middle of Mexico. And this was a very creative way to bring the two men together, the only two men who spoke one language, so that they can transmit it to the future kids and generations.
Minority languages can still be revived thanks to folk tales, but linguists have to act fast. Language is a human rights issue every bit as important as ethnic or religious identity.